think that using her will get to me. And if you're right, then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D.
Welcome back, guys. We're here with game number 3 of the D2CL 7 Christmas Charity Magic. I'm Durka in the JD Studios. We'll get ourselves into the draft because game number 3 is Captain's Draft. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see where both teams head up with this. LC against HR, London Conspiracy Boys, Danish Swedish squad against the Hellraiser CIS team. And so far, I was wondering, Oracle was down at the bottom of that list, and I was kind of hoping we'd see him. But now there's nothing really amazing left in the pool that would really shock or surprise anyone. My co-caster Drag and Drop also here as well. Is there a hero you see there that you'd really love to get played?
Well, obviously Purge, because Purge is always great. Fuzzy Wuzzy also still in the pool. Lone Druid even. I haven't seen a Lone Druid in quite a while, but
Tinker.
Tinker, oh yeah. Tinker would also be interesting.
Let's bring out the Tinker.
Apart from that, everything else should be fairly standard. I mean,
Shadow Shaman.
and the Shadow Shaman, yes.
Dire team pick.
It's also one of these heroes that can work extremely well, especially in these kind of situations, because the crazy thing about Captain's Draft is that it's really a test for the captains to just analyze the hero pool on the fly. Don't really have a whole lot of time to actually make your mind of things. Then see what heroes you ban out, and then see what strategies you can go for that are usually maybe countered out, but not so much in this draft with this hero pool. Right? That's kind of the strength that you have to show.
The majority of the time, it's like looking at the hero pool and seeing which set of heroes has the least options. So like right here, Hellraisers notices, okay, support-wise, Shadow Shaman is super good. There's like Lich, Silence, and Visage, but there's nothing that gives you the same disable and lockdown that Shadow Shaman does. While LC look at the carry pool, and they see, okay, mid-heroes, what is there that can beat a TA? Nothing. What is there that can defeat a Tiny if he's safe lane? There's like things like Ursa maybe, Slark, you know, but there's nothing amazing there. So I think both teams get off to a good start drafting-wise. Off-lane hero pool, there's like Tidehunter, Timbersaw, you can have like a Lich +1. So off-lane hero pool is pretty good here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hellraisers go for like, you know, a second pick Lich even, if they really wanted to. But I like the opening from both teams. Hellraisers, what other options do they have? Juggernaut, I think, is probably one of the bigger ones. Juggernaut is their second. But no, there's the Lich I mentioned. That really opens up your off-lane pool and says, you know, we can do anything with it.
Yeah, it does. Maybe they go for the Timbersaw now, just for that extra damage. A little bit of burst, a lot of damage over time from the Chakram at least later down the line. To try and deal with a Templar Assassin.
I think you still go Jug. I think you go Lich Jug.
Yeah.
That's like
it wouldn't be bad.
That's like
Tidehunter.
Oh, okay. Lich Tide.
Dire team pick.
That's fair enough. Early on, Tidehunter does very well against Tiny. The melee safe lane are going to have some difficulties against that Anchor Smash if you have a Lich on lane as well. Bringing that lane back with Sacrifice. So Shadow Shaman +1 at bottom lane could be the Shadow Shaman Jug that I was mentioning, could be a Slark if you wanted it. The Hex Shackles into Pounce is pretty good. London Conspiracy, we've not really looked at what they can go for though. There's Bounty Hunter, that's incredibly annoying. But support-wise, it's kind of difficult, honestly. And they'll take the Juggernaut themselves, so is this going to be an off-lane or support Tiny, it looks like?
Maybe. They can go with support Tiny. I mean, it gives you that lockdown that you're looking for. You can still try and scale. And the Visage. Okay, I was actually thinking more along the lines of Silencer and a Baron, especially with the Titan up and going right now. Just having that sort of counter initiation, Nephotic Shield, just to try and purge off the Shackles, for instance.
Slark. 10 seconds remaining.
Visage instead, so you have a lot of physical damage on side of Conspiracy between all of these heroes, really. So maybe that's where the synergy lies. Slark and Nature's Prophet now. For Hellraiser, a little bit of a different lineup. They have a good mix of teamfight, a little bit of split push there as well. And Slark, he should be doing fairly well. I would say there's not a whole lot first. Abaddon though now being the final pickup, so that will be still an offlane Tiny, I guess. Offlane Juggernaut, maybe aggressive tri lane.
This is the difficult thing, though, right?
know.
Because like the Tide plus Lich lane, what do you want to put against that? That's the big problem I have. Is do you want to put Jug, Visage, Abaddon against the Tide Lich lane? Do you want Tiny to be solo off lane against Shadow Shaman Slark? London Conspiracy, 100% for sure, they have worse dual lanes here than Hellraisers do. So I think Hellraisers already, in my mind, get the advantage. Just the fact that with the dual lanes, they can kind of counteract anything that London Conspiracy throws at them. But with the way they've picked up these heroes, Shachlo and the Nature's Prophet, is he going to be going off lane? Do they put the Tide Hunter mid?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering as well. I mean,
seconds
who do you
remaining.
actually put mid here? Is it the Tide Hunter? Is it the Nature's Prophet even himself?
5 seconds remaining.
Could you get it? I mean, this is Templar Assassin mid, so I don't know. Nature's Prophet could actually be doing okay with the treants, just constantly taking away the refaction. But at the same time, it's also extra
Prepare
farm
for
going away of
battle.
TA in a sense.
Well,
It's a little bit interesting to see what they think is best.
Alpha Ninja... whoa, hang on a second. He bought himself a second Stout Shield, and that's not what he wanted. So, Nature's Prophet has the makings of a Null Talisman, which is 90% sure he's going to head towards a side lane and finish off that Null in one of the side shops. Early aggressive Dire Ward there, out into the Radiant Jungle. So, safe lane Slark. I'm pretty sure the Shadow Shaman goes with him. They've got good kill power down there. The Tide is going mid, so he's got pool tangos plus the shield. So it's going to be Nature's Prophet Lich up at top, it looks like, as Goddam will be taking that floating Lich. Moving towards the top lane. While over on London Conspiracy, what do we have? Juggernaut with the old Visage up at top lane. What else have we got? So yeah, Tiny is off lane. Baby Knight mid TA. They'll try and run dual lanes here. So Tiny Abaddon, double melee dual lane. But I guess with the shield, you can stop that Shackles into Pounce combination.
Yeah, you can. At the same time, they should still be zoned out at some point, just because of, well, Tiny. I mean, sure, you can. You have one spell, essentially, one or two, with the tiny amount of mana pool that he has, and no Wisp to back him up to try and get that going. Not gonna have a bottle for a long time either, so. Well, just the Ether Shock from the Shadow Shaman, if nothing else, might just be enough to zone him out. Then again, the Baron, he has plenty of regen himself, and he can give up some of that over with the Mist Coil. Should be stable. I don't see much kill potential for either side, unless they maybe catch out the Baron himself a little bit too far
30
out.
seconds to battle.
Well, maybe if the Tiny can toss the Slark back into tower or something, then we'll have some funky little moves. Bounty runes, though. There's 4 Radiant heroes down towards the bot spot. And it's just the Nature's Prophet up near top. It should be the bounty rune taken by Baby Knight at top, and it looks like they're going to give up that bot one. There's perfect vision here for the Radiant from that tree. Kefka. Tiny goes to poke his head down, but he's not going to go for it. So Alpha Ninja's
The
Tide
battle
Hunter will get the
begins.
first bounty rune, and facing up against this TA who has a magic wand at level 1. So it looks like she was expecting the Tide mid. Anchor spam will be negated a little bit, mitigated a bit by that 1 charge stack up.
Yeah, and it should be a fairly default win here for Templar Assassin. Just a much more common mid hero. Tide Hunter can work, of course, but he's the kind of mid that just kind of stays there, gets a couple of last hits on the back of the spells, and then at some point, well, he just rotates out, trying to do something with the ultimate somewhere else on the map. Whereas Templar Assassin can do similar kind of thing, but TA has much more kill power of her own. Once it's at level 6, and once you have that potential slow coming out on Tide Hunter, maybe forcing on Ravage or something along those lines.
Tide is already off to a really good beginning here as TA just gets her first last hit off of that secondary wave coming in. And Tiny bot, he's not actually being under too much pressure. Undershock has got Ether Shock level 1. Maybe looking for the wrap around here. They've got good vision from this Radiant Observer Ward, just seeing Soul in the back, and this other support, Goddam. He's not top with Nature's Prophet. He's actually just sort of floating around between bot and mid. Maybe stack up some camps for the old Tide Hunter. What do you want to stack though? Stack Ancients? Do you stack large camps? Because, okay, Tide can clear through a few jungle camps here and there, but he's not the most amazing, he's not the most spectacular hero. Actually clearing through them efficiently or quickly, until he gets some big levels up.
If you want to stack anything, you probably stack the Ancients, and Tide Hunter will be able to take that, not necessarily all that quickly, but reliably, without taking a lot of damage. At the same time, you have to make sure that Baby Knight doesn't find that and maybe even steals them. because TA with full levels a couple of points into the side lanes and refraction. Yeah, she's a good Roche take, not Roche taking, the ancient taking hero as well. So
Oh, she's a good Roche taking hero. Get the
That's
Desolator.
true, yeah.
And the dire side as well. So it should be a nice little takedown. Undershot gets the bounty at bot, but look at this. Kefka converging onto that location. Trouble is, the TA isn't in position and has no health, so you can't... Like, the ideal situation there is you like toss the Shadow Shaman onto the TA at the tier 1, and Baby Knight just kills the Shadow Shaman, right? But Baby Knight is being crushed on this lane. Look at him. HP is low. He's got his bottle coming out to him, I'm guessing. Yeah, bottle's coming out on that courier. But 8 stick charge is still up, and he's got to rely pretty heavily on them to keep himself alive in this lane now. Bottom, Sensibility, 13 and 6, still doing very well down here. With Shachflow's Nature's Prophet at top, is clearing through creeps at a pretty good rate. Juggernaut, on the other hand, 9 and 4, not really keeping pace with the slot.
Yeah, I mean, it's really passive laning stage so far. Yeah, this top lane Nature's Prophet is actually the way these lanes turn out to be is like stable lanes is set for LC, but none that can really zone out as much as you would maybe be looking for on the Nature's Prophet. Some trouble.
Oh, no pounce though. Undershock, he's got shackles, but the combo just isn't here anymore. And the fact that the shield has already been used. Kefka, you can't see the shield on him, but it's definitely there. It's going to pop and do a ton of damage back to Undershock. It looks like he might be dead. There's a stick charge here, and there's enough mana for top soon, but the shackles out. Kefka is going to lose a lot of health with that Essence Shift leveled up already. And Solon TP away. Sensibility has a pounce, but it's not going to be enough. Not quite, anyway. The slot gets himself a trade-off. First Blood still goes the way of London Conspiracy.
Slightly favored there, but is getting that counter kill kind of puts him right back on track, or at least puts Slaughter back on track. And he's the kind of hero that if he gets off to a good start can just create so many issues for London Conspiracy to deal with. Just going back in, down, back and forth, and if you actually look at the lineup, apart from Tidehunter, they don't really have any stuns to speak of. I mean, Visage Birds, technically. Apart from that, nothing really to lock down the slot, so he can just go in, maybe Shadow Blade out, pounce out, heal back up, go back in again, just do so much damage, stack up some of that Essence Shift.
Yes.
Basically be an annoying little hero that is impossible to kill.
It's down top behind you, right? Yeah, I think Shafter's okay here. Oh, yeah, he's fine. It's only the level 2 nuke out from Visage, not quite enough. But I think it's down to Tiny getting a blink and jumping on the slot. Because like you said, there's limited ways of actually keeping him held down there. Well, the way he's farming as well, you know, he's got a good amount of last hits, he's got his Treads Pullman shield up. And once he gets into that blink or Shadow Blade, it's going to be rough for LC as their supports can get taken out from behind by the slippery little fish he is. Now, Afro Ninja at mid, Baby Knight's Templar Assassin is still not dominating this lane. He's up to level 6, but killing this Tide is so difficult. Headdress up, he's got 4 armor, plus the Stout Shield. Looks like he's going to be heading into the Arcane's mech build.
That's interesting to see the Tidehunter be even ahead in terms of losses here, just because I'm used to seeing TA just being very good in mids up against melee heroes, but Tidehunter I guess is one of those that, with that minus damage, well, sure, the refraction will will offset a little bit, but once the refraction is down, well, it's a much longer cooldown.
You can't kill it without a point in meld. You cannot kill this Tidehunter. Ridiculous amounts of survivability through there with the Anchor Smash. I mean, he's only got level 1 Kraken Shell even. He's still surviving through all of that. Now, bot rune spot, Kefka and Solon. This lane I feel has done well enough. The fact that they haven't died. The dual lanes have gone okay for London Conspiracy here. I kind of felt that HR with the aggressive plays that they have available maybe could dominate these lanes a little bit harder, but the way they've set this out, it's very clear that they want these key items that little bit faster. They weren't worried about London Conspiracy getting any kind of sort of lane momentum. They just want Shashler to farm, they want Tidehunter to farm, they want Slark to farm. And these two supports are roaming around making sure all of that's happening. I mean, Baby Knight and Solon, they're on the hunt playing aggressively looking for stacks. They'll find a little one there. A large camp stacked a tiny amount. But Hellraisers, they're the ones that are really setting the tempo of this laning stage. It's going to come down to really when Juggernaut TPs and gets that first Omni Slash usage. Then giving Visage level 6 and laning stage experience. Bottom lane, Sensibility's found the Abaddon. He's got shield and miscoil, but oh my goodness, he's just dying to this so quickly. That essence shift.
Stacking up quite a bit. 6 charges on top of him now, and yeah, with the expert of lockdown on the Shark, that was just there to secure the kill. And Kefka has to be careful now. If he gets caught with another shackle,
they're
maybe the jump.
Zap down, Kefka, stick charges up with the Avatar's back. He's healed up by Solan. And Undershot couldn't get in there with the shackles, and they're actually trying to hunt down the Shadow Shaman. Slark on the run out, and he's got no sustain or heal left for him. In comes the Nature's Prophet though. Kefka has a toss. He's got Avalanche in 2 seconds as well. He's actually surviving through this. Avalanche out. Looks like he's away to safety as this Sharpslow TP in. It saved the Shadow Shaman, honestly. So doesn't give anything away to London Conspiracy, but it does mean that
Radiant's middle
is
tower
no longer
is
up at
under
top
attack.
lane.
Well, at least a little bit more space for Lich to maybe get some levels once this creep wave pushes out a little bit further, but that is not right now. So it just has to be very careful, not get caught on the heart itself, but maybe a Visage though into a Juggernaut spin that should take care of him quite nicely.
Bring back the overlay. I left the draft overlay on for like a minute and 10 seconds or something, and ruined, then saved, and now bring back the overlay. We miss it. It was so beautiful, so beautiful. But I think the Slark with 45 last is like Juggernaut's caught up a fair amount. He's got himself Phase Aquila, pretty much done. We've seen a lot of interesting builds from Juggernauts recently. At the defense, we saw a lot from Loader and No Tail. The brown boots, Aquila, Quelling Blade, drums into BOTs, and then you go into like a Battle Fury or an SNY. I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a big fan the way it was utilized. Like the build obviously has its merits. You've got good movement speed. You can run around and really get across the map and use the Omni Slash very nicely. As TA DD rune, you can try and steal these ancients, but there's lots of people here from HDR. But we've seen a lot more success from the quicker builds, the builds that pick up pace a lot faster. Either the Battle Fury Rush so you can farm into items quicker, or the straight up phase drums SNY, so you just go and battle out with people. The BOT's build, okay, it gives you the mobility across the map, but I'm not sure that's what you really look for in this meta.
I over agree, yeah. I just... the Juggernaut is a hero that's... Sure, you can farm him up, but if you're just gonna play a passive farming game, then there's other heroes that do that a little bit better, right? That have a better ultimate that isn't...
Baby Knight. Oh, there's a sentry here. He turns back onto Alpha Ninja. Oh, the Shackle Ravage actually stacking up there. And Baby Knight's got enough damage here to go back onto the Shadow Shaman. Nothing left to slow him down. A Hex in 2 seconds time. But it looks like Undershock's dead already as Baby Knight's running through looking for Goddamn now as well with a shield up from Abaddon. Goddamn Lich. There's a trap from Baby Knight ready and available. But the quick Lich will get himself back to safety, and this is good play from LC, realizing that stacks are going to be imperative for the Tide Hunter to get himself up and running after Arcane's headdress. Get into the mech, go into the Blink Dagger. So this gives Baby Knight a good chunk of money and puts him top of the net worth now, ahead of the Slark even.
Is under attack.
Yep. If he gets up that quick Desolator, then we can see that Templar has finally claimed that role as Dominator, right? Not necessarily just in mid, but everywhere else across the map. You have the backup from an Abaddon to keep you alive even longer, even across the between the reflection charges. And yeah, it's not like she's the only one doing physical damage either, right? So everyone else can also benefit from the Exo Desolator minus armor and the Melt minus armor. Roshan is an option once Baby Knight picks it up. If he even goes to that, he might still go for the Blink Dagger, just to find these pickoffs a little bit more reliably and quickly.
Well,
find out now, I guess. There it is. Okay.
Is definitely an option. That's a first item blink on Baby Knight.
I don't hate it either.
That's kind of interesting. We've seen so much of the Desolator Rush, which has become the norm really on this TA. But maybe if you're looking to take down that Slark as quickly as you can, you know, you blink in with like an Avatos from Kefka once he gets his blink. Actually kill him off, or maybe you just want to jump in aggressively to find the Shadow Shaman or Lich, chase them down. And there's also the defensive plays you get from it. The fact that Refraction now, you can blink through the Refraction even if you are taking instances of damage. Means that Tide Ravage, it's going to be difficult to keep this TA actually held in place during team fights. Now Juggernaut, this is what I was looking for. Leaves the lane. Visage gets level 6. But where does Jalopy go? Where do you go with his
Radiant's
Juggernaut?
middle
Bottom lane to
tower
find
is under
kills?
attack.
You've grouped up 2 here already. You've had Solo and Kefka actually trying to fight down this bottom lane for a while. But Juggernaut is going on a bit of a wander. He's moved from top lane through his own jungle, and he is actually running down towards bot. Use that Omni Slash on someone.
Yeah, just finished my point from earlier. I mean, you can play Juggernaut in a carry position,
Dire's
but
middle tower
where he really
is
shines
under
is just
attack.
trying to utilize that Omni Slash as best he can, and more importantly, just use the spin. Like, early game, it's actually quite a little of damage if you can get it off. With the face boots, you can stay on top of targets, and then, well, other than that, you have the healing ward to turn things into a push if you don't get a pick off, right? And then you have that TA who can now start a fight for you, and either claim some kills if Hellraiser engages into you like that, or just chase them off at the very least.
They
Right?
really want this Lich level 6, and he's 100 experience away from this. Kefka, though, he's hiding in the trees. Gonna leech some experience here. Gonna be able to find him, though. This Radiant Observer Ward. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well,
Kill up on
forget
top
that
lane.
I almost forgot that he was in the game, but he reminds us.
Yep, Nature's Prophet dies up at top, and there we go. The Visage is now very close to level 8, has Medallion plus Tranquils, and this Visage is going to start scaling decently. The fact that the Juggernaut now has Sanj and is following middle lane, I think LC are playing this perfectly. They had disadvantageous dual lanes, but they've made everything work. They just, like, they haven't died. That's the biggest thing. They haven't died, and from there on, they've been able to really punish
Radiant's middle tower
Hellraisers
is under attack.
and any overzealous moves they've been making. Like right now, 4-man group up a bot from Hellraisers, pushing tier 1. They're losing out on both fronts, mid and top.
Radiant's middle
Both
tower has
taking a
fallen.
pounding here.
Dire's
gonna get one tower.
structures are fortified.
If that. I don't think London Conspiracy can test this, they just let the tower fall. The expenditure from Hellraisers is big enough. You know, Serpent Wards, it guarantees you a tier 1.
Dire's bottom tower has
Serpent
fallen.
Wars, time of 5 heroes.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
space is being created. Jalopy's taking that exactly right now, and well, this is once again just smart from LC because they know that with that lineup they can actually take a 5-on-5 fight, just not easily anyway. Tiny that avatars is easily missed and it's more suitable to actually burst on one target rather than trying to stay in a team fight because the cooldowns are quite long. Then you have a TA. If she gets locked down even by a bit, then it's actually always quite easy to bring Baby Knight down. Then you have a Juggernaut. Sure, you can keep himself alive, but only level 1 Omni Slash, don't have a lot of bounces, and there's little chance they can actually pick off someone if that's 5 heroes there. Now Slark with Midmiss. Okay.
Not sure about this. He gets in with that. A bit of a nuke. But the fact is, Tide has Arcane's Blink now. Oh my god, Arcane's Mech now. So they've got that team fight sustained just to go and force into towers. I don't see a good way for London Conspiracy to contest these tier 1 pushes, apart from that tiny Blink which is coming soon. So they'll try and go for a kill up on top. This Visage is tanky, and he's just tanky enough to TP himself away from that.
That was as close as it gets, man. But yeah, I think LC just have to play this kind of game, or continue to play this kind of game, right? Just dodge the 5-man, split push, keep farming up until maybe find some pickers if you can. That definitely benefits the TA, but apart from that,
Dire's top tower
just
is
text
under
me.
attack.
Just get Roshan even if they want to.
Well, you know the
Radiant's
HR right now are
bottom
hitting
tower
one of
is
their
under
power
attack.
spikes. They've got the Mech Arcanes, they've got this Slark who... Shadowblade is up, right? He's got it coming in on the courier? Yeah. So there's this period of time where London Conspiracy don't have a good way of stopping the tower push. Their creep clearing abilities, minimal. Very minimal. So getting Tiny Blink is imperative here for them to actually try and take fights. Getting Visage up to like level 11, getting TA into that Desolator or something along those lines. And she is in the Roche pit, and they went for the trade-off. They tried to get tier 1 at bottom lane, but on 44 health, it's just going to get denied. This is where Slark maybe starts with his Shadowblade hunting. He sees Kefka. He might be able to get this, actually. Oh, the TP out. Damage output, not going to be enough. Sensibility cannot get the kill there. This Roshan's falling. Slowly but surely. The Medallion's up with the Visage Birds around as well. Take this.
It's taken them quite a while, but they're
Radiant's
starting to
bottom
sneak it
tower
through.
has been denied.
And Hellraisers don't know if they actually know what's going on. Alpha Ninja might have an inkling.
He's
Why
wandering
not just try to
around.
go for the rune? Yes. Don't think they know what's happening. I mean, they're split pushing right now. Shadow, of course, doing what Nature's Prophet does.
Roshan
But
has
yeah,
fallen
no
now.
contest coming out. They could have definitely done that if they figured out what was going on and would have just grouped up as 5, smoked up, and then went in for the Ravage. Tiny, actually. They find him up top here with
Dire's
sensibility.
top
Yeah, I
tower
caught that.
is
It
under
was
attack.
good play from Sensibility, but I think Kefka was, not AFK, but he was in that kind of mindset where he saw the Nature's Prophet, he saw the Nature's Prophet back up, and he was just waiting for him to show himself again so he could either A, jump in to kill him, or wait long enough that he could go and farm the wave with his blink.
Dire's top
The fact
tower
that Sensibility
is
came
under
up from
attack.
behind him, oh my
Dire's
goodness.
top
The
tower
Dark
has
Pact
fallen.
timing is pretty spot on to get through the Avalanche, and now with
Radiant's
Tiny
bottom
dead,
tower is under attack.
pushing high ground here. This is very ballsy. They've got Ravage up to level 2, they've got Mech, but these Treants to go through things as well, so they'll force a reaction here from London Conspiracy. And maybe they'll have a smoke, up from this top lane, the fake back, and move down towards middle. There's a tier 1 still ready for them. You're going to try and cut this. So if you cut either behind the tier 2 or the tier 1, you can find for those stragglers that are trying to defend.
Maybe a bold move from Hellraisers, but at the same time, they can't feel confident right now. I mean, with what they have available, they have a Slark who's reasonably well farmed. You have a Tidehunter to with the panic button essentially with the Ravage. No BKBs being up yet. Only Juggernaut, of course, having the potential to dodge it. And speaking of Juggernaut, Chacho, what?
He has no TP. He has to sprout TP, but he's dead. He's gone.
That's a
Meanwhile,
good, lucky Omni Slash there.
Slark kills off the Visage. It looks like he's just gone for the hit and run. He goes into the jungle, finds the kill, and bails himself out here. Alpha Ninja, they've dropped the Serpent Wards and Baby Knight. Aggressive positioning forward with the Familiars down. I think they're going to look for the Ravage. They get the Gush onto Solon. And Kefka, he's waiting in the trees just looking for this Blake Avatos. And Sensibility now with the Dark Pact even popped. Kefka's still waiting for this. They've got no real opportunity to head into this, and the tower's dead. Baby Knight blinks back, and there's the Ravage. Catching 2. Solon, there's no time to shield. There's no mana to shield either. But Alpha Ninja's alone. The Slark doesn't have a position to fight this. He now runs into Baby Knight, but there's no vision. Chain Frost bounces back and forth, back onto Jalopy, but there's a shield from Abaddon keeps him alive until Nature's Prophet says hello. Baby Knight equally jumps in and finds the kill back onto him, and the Juggernaut does escape with a spin and run.
I
2
think
dead
they waited a
for
bit
2.
too long there. I mean, the wards were all farmed up when Titan went in first. Held on to Ravage for pretty damn long, and then after Ravage was down, wasn't really too much of a follow-up. And Slack was getting in there trying to find the right clicks, but apart from that, nothing else came out. The Chain Frost did get some good bounces, but it wasn't really synced up with the Ravage, so I don't know. It's all just one step at a time, where Hellraisers should have just thrown at everything at once.
And this Visage
Like
get the
that fire
stuns
again.
down. It looks like Sensibility is locked in place. And this Visage stick charges up, heals himself to a decent threshold here, and yeah, Slark's gone out. He's got nothing left to give. He's got the Dark Pact even, but he's dead. The dust is popped, and that aggressive play onto the Visage gets a mega kill streak.
Mistakes were made, and yeah, this is how LC come back into the game, right? Once they get the farm up and running, once they actually get to a point where they can start taking these 5-on-5 engagements, and right now with the Ravage down, they definitely can. Yeah, it's not like they're bad on farm. Right? They keep finding these pickoffs. Kefka with that Blink Dagger, doing what a Tiny does, right? Just blow people up, get the station again. There's a Temple Assassin top of a network shot with Desolate and an Aegis up and running. And Juggernaut is also farming this well. Like, does go for a Sanj and Yasha build, which is really conducive to this kind of playstyle, right? Just try and fight whenever you can.
Helps the mech defensively. Oh god, Juggernaut still goes in. That's the kill. And all of a sudden, 2-3 minutes ago we saw Hellraisers pushing top tier 3. They're doing it again with the Nature's Prophet. But when their ultis are down, this London Conspiracy squad just runs straight on into them. They've got mobility on the Juggernaut with Phase S and Y, blinks across the Tiny and TA, with the Desolator on them. Diffusal Blade nearly done for the Jug, which is honestly kind of interesting. What do you diffusal here? There's nothing big to dispel. Oh no, ignore it. Ghost Scepters. There's Ghost Scepters. Never mind.
Oh yeah, there is?
There's 2 Ghost Scepters. Shadow Shaman and Tidehunter both have one.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Kind of want to be able to right click it down. Don't want to use the spin necessarily.
I was just looking at this and thinking, why Diffusal Blade? There's nothing here. There's no repel. There's nothing to get rid of. There's no need to like get off an Orchid or a Dust or something. But no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Shacho has an Orchid as well though, so he can defuse himself if necessary, just to try and get the spin out.
He's actually finished it. That's kind of quick. I looked at him a while back and he was struggling for farm, but good split push comeback here from Sharchlo, getting himself a good amount of farm. Roshan, we'll find out when he's back up in a couple of minutes' time, about 3 minutes.
Solon. His ability is going on again, but he's all alone, and now with his ultimate, that's Abaddon's not exactly the target you can just pick off and be done with it. He will get out, but
he uses ulti, half his mana pool, and like you said, it's not a target you can just go in and pick off easily. Kefka, he's got other ideas though. He knows there's a couple of heroes around on his bottom lane. Alpha Ninja's waiting in the wings. Undershock is TPing out. Oh god, he's found the Shadow Shaman, but Hex out there. It's not enough damage. Serpent will the drop, and the Ravage from Alpha Ninja will catch Kefka shackled up and dead as Jalopy. Ah, buddy. Spin TP. Not sure it's going to be able to get you out of here. You've got the healing ward to keep yourself sustained, but the Treants, they're going to close him off at the pass. Not quite. He's got the movement speed, but not the health, as Undershock will zap him down. A double kill for your Shadow Shaman, who has Blink Dagger ready if he wants it.
this is a little bit of an underestimation from on LC side there, because you were talking about it before. They were having a lot of momentum, but that was because the ultimates were down. And in this instance, both the Ravage as well as the Serpent wards were up. And the Shadow Shaman, he does a lot of damage. If you're trying to solo kill him, if he stays alive and gets his 2 spells off, the Serpent ward as well as the Shackles, right? And yeah, solo kill the Tiny, no problem whatsoever. And this is something that you have to be aware about if you're on Conspiracy. You can't just forget what heroes you're playing against and what makes them strong, right?
Oh.
I mean, they're not that far ahead.
No.
In fact, they're back to even now.
It's still looking good though. BKB for both the TA and the Slark kind of evens out a little bit as Sensibility, yeah. That was a misplay, honestly. A little bit awkward on that one. Baby Knight sees him coming and blinks himself away. But it's going to be down to the next Roshan, I feel. Because you look at Hellraisers, they've got good contest heroes to go into Rosh Pit as long as they can keep their vision up. Right now, they've got one aggressive ward which is about to expire, in fact, on that hilltop over in the Dire Jungle, and nothing much else really, do they? What's Radiant Vision like? Creep waves plus their one ward. Dire Vision, similar story really. They don't have any wards out anywhere. So both teams, there we go. So Visage buys a gem, and this is where they really start to consolidate their ward coverage, definitely. It's difficult against a Slark, honestly, who has a Shadow Blade. He's dancing around finding all the ward spots.
Yeah, and that can be annoying to deal with, but at the same time, there's no way around it. You have to ward, you have to make sure that you at least get that intel one way or the other. You don't have a Beast Mouse in this game or Sigil to scout out for you, these kind of things. So, yeah, you have to place down those wards and hope that you can actually, even if they get rewarded, hope that they give you enough intel that you can go for a pick off right when it happens.
At this point, though, the TA is very difficult to kill in team fights. If they can get Templar Assassin locked onto a hero that doesn't have a Ghost Scepter and actually kill them off, let's say the Lich or the Nature's Prophet in the back end of a fight. She's got BKB now, so Ravage can't really do too much to her. You also look at Alpha Ninja, who doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet. So up at top, though, they've caught Kefka. Serpent wards, plus the Sprout. Even with your Shadow Amulet, you're not going to be able to hide from this. Down the bottom lane, looks like Sensibility is actually setting up for a fight. He's Shadow Bladed up, goes for the hit onto Jalopy, backs himself away, but it's a tier 2 for a kill on Tiny. They've got to TP and react to what's going up on top. This is just a continual pressure push, piling on a ton of damage. So this, it's like economical damage, right? It's not a lot of damage to the tier 3. Just the fact that every 3-4 minutes, London Conspiracy have to go back, TP, reset the lane, and then go back to what they really want to do, which is pushing into tier 3s of their own.
Well, at this point though, they can start pushing out this top lane if they want to. Oh, Sensibility, what are you doing? Baby Knight is there.
Knew he was coming.
Wow,
They saw him every step of the way. That Sensibility will dance himself away with the use of his ultimate. But again, that's like the 3rd or 4th time now he's had to use his ultimate to escape. Not to play aggressively or to actually team fight, but to escape from a situation where he goes for a cheeky little kill. London Conspiracy are grouping up very well and just keeping everyone covered.
Same time though, you can't really blame him for trying to go for these, because, well, there's always a chance that he does find someone alone who can't actually defend himself. And then, what if he reloads? I mean, that ultimate isn't the longest cooldown. Neither is the Shadow Blade, the mana can be replenished. And there's not actually a whole lot of risk. We talked about it before, there's not a lot of lockdown here on LC to actually deal with the Slaughter. Especially in this ultimate form. All you really have is the Tiny with the avatars, and that is even that's not quite enough right now to burst him down. Especially with the BKB.
Roshan is going to be up soon. Maybe that's going to give them the momentum they need, but take a look at this Hellraisers. The Tidehunter walks in and look at who spawns. The bloody Roshan instantly up and ready as Kefka kills Shadow Shaman, and this could really kick off the fight for them. Baby Knight TP blinks himself in with the BKB up. Sensibility turns the fight with a BKB of his own, and Baby Knight, the Ravage, is just waiting. It's waiting. Alpha Ninja knows that they can't fight into this. So Sharpslow pops some trees out. Even though he's slowed down by the trap, the hit out from Baby Knight, wanting to blink back in maybe in a little second. I think this is going to be a Roshan attempt for them. Just walk into the pit. Even with that Ravage up, the blink available from Alpha Ninja, there's no mech. And there's no Slark ultimate to really give them any pain.
There's no Shadow Shaman wards either, and it's still a big part of their damage at this point. And not just that, but also control. I mean, you need the shackles, you need the hacks just to try and keep the tiny and Temple Assassin away from you as much as you can. But yeah, without that being available, that pickup from Kefka set them up for that entire thing. Just shooing the rest of HR away from the Roche pit and enabling them to get it. And yeah, it's more momentum their way. More space to just try to counteract them a little bit more. Same time, sensibilities still going for these kind of plays, but
where's the Craggy? Where's the Craggy procs? Well, it's got Shadow Blade now, so it doesn't even matter. I mean, Kefka was looking for the Nature's Prophet. Oh, sensibility, no Shadow Blade. He's got the stun there. He popped his ultimate. He does get himself a little bit further away. I'm not sure they can actually chase this to kill him. They have a blink on the Juggernaut. Could give them the gap closer they need, but again, lack of stuns and disables for both teams. A little bit worrying here.
So is this the point where Jalopy just goes for Basher into Abyssal? Oh, the courier. They actually managed to take it down.
Yeah, empty bottle on it. The Juggernaut, Abyssal, yeah, I guess so. I kind of want him to tank up more, though. I really want to see a Butterfly from him. And then maybe into the Basher. Just because the Slark is so annoying. If you're in a man fight with a Slark, then you're not in a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when it takes all your starts taking all your stats.
Dire's middle tower
Can't quite deal with them. I do see that. It's kind of
a stalemate at this point.
Yeah.
It's just been back and forth for the past 10 minutes or so. 4,000 leaders going LC's way. Both gold and experience. Tarsi gets him! The combo's there, but the punches are not going to be enough. Sharpslow will TP away with 2 hits. Well, maybe 1 hit remaining, actually. Kefka maybe could have finished him with 1 more punch, but still. Good escape there by Sharpslow, who the balls of steel on this man. Doesn't TP the fountain to heal. He TPs up the top to push.
Well, he's going for the Agnum Scepters now as well now. So if he goes Octarine behind that, then just the mental game just gets on a whole new level. I mean, I've done myself before playing Nature's Prophet, going Axe Octarine.
And then Refresher.
And then Refresher, yeah. Just whenever I think back to these games where it actually works, I feel bad for the enemies at the same time, but I also feel like
they deserve it because they're your
like
enemies.
Evil genius, right? Or like Bulldog essentially. Just
well, if we do get to that point, the fact that Juggernaut hasn't gone for the Battle Fury build, clearing out these Treants isn't easy. They are tanky little bastards. I mean, Tiny, okay, Aghanim soon. Soon in the next 10 minutes or so, something like that, if he does go for it. But TA Sideblades is not amazing at killing off Treants. You have to really get that line going and kind of hope that Sharpslow doesn't micro them well enough. But Juggernaut, he did go for the very stats-heavy build. Blink, good initiation. And the fact that he had to go Diffusal Blades against these Ghost Scepters coming out from Hellraisers. I'm going to try and push high ground here. Kefka is invis down at bottom lane with the Shadow Blade. He's going to cancel TP. He stops the Lich from going back to base. They're going to push high ground now. There's no Lich. He's got no buyback. So without a Chain Frost here, it's all down to Slark and Tide really. Blinks forward aggressively, but no Ravage. Just trying to bait out some movement from LC and see what they do to react.
Trying to bait out the BKB from maybe that wasn't anything else. Maybe
Sensibility.
Oh wow.
Very close to dying there.
With Ravage and the open ones, we just have to make sure that they play around these BKBs, around this magic community, and also Solan is able to be put of a stun onto with that aquatic shield.
Failed glyph. they glyph just as the tier 3 dies and before they start hitting racks, so the glyph was worthless there, and in they come onto the racks. The healing ward is down, and London Conspiracy going to try and close this one out. Zap ahoy from Undershock. Level 2 Serpent wards, like you said, are available here.
Top tower is under attack.
And now with the Lich alive, maybe they can fight. Because you look up at top, Shachlo, he is pushing up onto the tier 3. The blink forward, Alpha Ninja not going to get the Ravage onto anybody. TP's
They had
out.
the weapons,
Solon.
but they didn't pull any triggers. Now they find Solon here on the quite
Radiant's
side of the
middle
trees.
barracks
So
is under
that
attack.
will be a kill.
That's honestly fine for
But
London
it
Conspiracy.
is-
Because not only is he a hero they don't mind losing, but it took them so long to kill him.
And that movement was something I did not expect. I mean, from LC in the first place, just recognizing that there were two off there.
Dyer's top tower
Tiny was
is under
there
attack.
invis, able to just stop them from coming back to reinforce, and then just the balls of steel on LC this time around, right? Just go for the high ground, rely on your ability to pop the BKB quickly enough when the Ravage does come out, and yeah, bank on the fact that HR have to play around these BKBs, because if they don't get the Ravage off, if LC dodge that, then it's all over, right? Baby Knight just goes in, right clicks whoever he pleases. Juggernaut, of course, if he's spinning, can't really do anything else, but after that he can get another Omni Slash off, maybe blink out, whatever he wants. Really.
Well, they did have Aegis on their TA, so that made it a little bit easier. But I'm just looking at this Visage now. Gem, Aghanims is nearly done. He is 1, 1, and 4. He hasn't died since laning stage. This guy has just been crushing this game. This good old Visage. Difficult to kill. The birds have made him even more hard to handle. The fact that Slark is not really able to go and get the solo picks off that he would really love to get. No.
Maybe not the big plays that we see from Viper here, but definitely a very solid Visage play. And
Well, they see Kefka go invis. It looks like Undershock will TP himself away just about. There goes the avalanche, but it's late to the party.
And Tiny, he picks himself up an ultimate orb. Is he going for a Cypher Vice here? They would actually love that just up against the Slark.
Yeah.
It could still be something else, maybe meta style, but
We've been talking about how they lack disables quite heavily.
yeah. I mean, anything else than a Cypher Vice would not be worth forgoing the axe for, I believe.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the Hex could definitely work out for them. Shachlo, what are you doing?
Oh,
He's got a nice
Put the
little
ward down.
observer ward here, but I don't know why. What's he aiming for? It's kind of weird. There aren't any heroes he can go and solo kill. Like nobody. I don't think he can solo kill anyone. Abaddon is impossible. Visage is very difficult. Tiny, Jug, and TA are all incredibly hard to kill as well. Oh, there we go. Monkey King Bar for your Slark. So the butterfly idea that I thought the Juggernaut would go for, that's kind of down the drain now. And there's the Basher. That's the Basher you mentioned. So he's going straight into that.
Every once in a while I make a right item call and I feel like a caster, but there we go. Yeah, it's once again just goes back to the lack that they have, which is lockdown, and Tiny, I hope he is going for the Cypher Vice to alleviate that. Juggernaut is doing his part with that Basher going into the business next. And just adding that against the Slark more than anyone else, because if he isn't able to play how he wants in a fight, if he isn't able to go
Like Ravage, Jalopy's caught here, and in they come with a shield though. Turn back around with a spin, escapes away, and Juggernaut's fine. Even with a point blank Ravage, they get a 3-man Avatar, so now the Omnislash comes back in. Juggernaut turns to fight, but they're all so tanky, healing up under the Guardian Greaves from that Tidehunter, as where is Baby Knight? Oh, he's blinked aggressively, but the Ghost Scepter. Rasta gets back, still has the Serpent Wards available, Solon is silenced, but he's got the shield up on him. Shachlo shredded under Baby Knight's damage output and slowed down his Goddam, trapped up and on the retreat. But the final hit will follow in projectile gaming here, as 3 are dead, 4 with 1 buyback out for the Nature's Prophet. And look at this Visage! Doesn't die! 2, 1, and 5, and Sensibility on the retreat out. Shadowblade up in a second, and they've got no reveal here, do they? The gem is over on the Visage, who dies to the Nature's Prophet. Triumph blocks him in. He TP's in, and now he's diebacked.
Dyer's bottom
He didn't even need to...
Why?
Oh no, maybe they get Baby Knight! Sensibility comes back in, he's going to actually clear up here! What on earth is happening?
He has 23 essence stack charges, he actually hits for like 300 something. And yeah, that comes all back to what we were talking about the entire game. Sensibility still able to play the fight like he wants to. With a little bit of a really good counter initiation from LC to begin with. I mean, initiation was good with Ravage, but then the Aphotic Shield to turn everything around. But after that fight kind of split up, JLP was still locked, it was kind of isolated. Sensibility was right there. That's the kind of fight that Slark loves to take. Just go in one by one, get a lot of right clicks in to just get more and more stacks going, and yeah, he's continuing. Also BKB gets Kafka, and
but can Sensibility escape? Oh, it looks like he can't. There's no chase here. There's again nothing to stun him or stop him. But yeah, Nature's Prophet still brought back and died pretty much instantly.
That was unnecessary. I mean, the treats were enough to get the Visage. I don't know what we're still doing there, but hey. Yeah, still overall, that Slark is still a problem for LC, and they have to address that before they can take any more team fights like that, I want to say.
The Observer Ward that was placed by Solan is interesting. Doesn't give vision up on the high ground. I think a little bit of a misclick there. It was pinged out by his teammates like, dude, what's that, honestly? What have you done? What are you up to? At this point of the game, Roshan has respawned again. Aegis and Cheese is up. And both teams are going to be vying that one, but tier 3 at top, you've got to come back and react. This is the story of the game. Team fights happen everywhere, but top lane is always being pushed in by this Nature's Prophet. And it's so awkward. So awkward for London Conspiracy to handle this. They're losing their range racks with no glyph up. Sensibility just takes it.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Now it gets out because once again, nothing to actually stop him. He has to build no fear in the world to go for these kind of plays, right? And that might open Roshan up for HR to take, or maybe a fight around. Not if they lose goddamn though. They see him, and yeah, they're still first at Bash naturally. Baby Knight though, kind of stealth between the trees, will have him TP out, but that might actually give them the chance to go for this big guy once more. And that's Aegis and Cheese, but top lane. Just see a repeat.
How do you deal with this? I mean, there's treants everywhere now. They're looking down at bottom lane. Kafka gets hexed up, and Undershock will get away. Treant's bot cutting the waves. Roshan is being taken, and it looks like they're just going to forfeit this top racks actually. There's still no glyph. Even with this Kefka Tiny coming in, he's trapped in the trees, taken out pretty quickly. Sensibility pops the BKB, and the Ravage from Alpha Ninja catches 3. They'll get the 1 kill on Tiny, who buys back instantly. Get the gem away from him, but Shadowslow toss is available. They'll be able to clear up the Nature's Prophet. London Conspiracy, Jelopy actually blinks forward aggressively looking for the Omni Slash to someone, but Sensibility is invis, hiding in that Shadow Blade. The gem on Tiny will scout him out initially. London Conspiracy lose a full lane of racks though, and they same position as game number 1, honestly. They find themselves in a position where they have to close out the game. But they can't.
Dire's courier has been killed.
They lose the courier again. Was a branch on it? No,
That was a branch. On the Dire courier? Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I was thinking hero.
Oh, bit there. Oh, Sensibility's found a kill there and gets the healing ward as well. Baby Knight trapped to slow. Pounce gonna get himself away from this. Yeah, he gets up onto the high ground and will heal up with his ultimate until Jelopy. He wants this so desperately. He can't find it. So two
actually got the Omni Slash off if you wanted there.
Maybe, yeah, but then you run the risk of Shadowblade.
It wasn't cooldown at the time. For another couple of seconds, so maybe it would have been enough.
Link forward. They've got the Omni Slash down to Alpha Ninja, but he pops his Ghost Scepter. No, Diffusal Blade's a little bit slow there from the Juggernaut, but they'll go for the tier 3 at bottom lane. They've killed Shadow Shaman, who buys back. They've got 6 seconds until Lich and Nature's Prophet are alive. Sensibility up on the front lines, trying to just force them back as much as he can. There's no Ravage for a minute, and that's what we're looking at. Undershock, he brought back into death, into the Avalanche, and he's gone. The TA, Baby Knight, he's got Cheese, pops it instantly there to get himself back up to full health, but Sensibility, the Slark, shreds through the 2 carry heroes. Slark and Juggernaut dead. Even with the Aegis up, it looks like London Conspiracy forced to buy back on the TA. This Slark is crushing everybody. Alpha Ninja is alive with a Ghost Scepter drop again, and Solan, run for your dear life, my friend. 2 hits, 3, and it's a triple for Sensibility Slark. Actually looking to clear up these little birdies as well. And what did LC get? They finished off mid-racks, but they didn't do anything at bot. They got a bit of damage onto the tier 3, and that was Aegis, Cheese, BKBs, and that was without Ravage on Hellraisers.
those like LC thinking, hey guys, we got Aegis, we got cheese, they don't have Ravage, let's go, right? Normally, okay, you can understand that line of thinking, but it comes back once again to what we've been saying every single time. That Stark is a monster and no one is stopping
Dire's
him
bottom tower is
at all.
under attack.
And it still do not have the scythe on Tiny. You have the avatars, but then you just turn... No, actually,
Sensibility?
yes. What? The familiar stuff? What stopped them there from getting out?
Avalanche toss? Apparently? Well,
But I think it was a Craggy actually. He was standing there stunned even after the avatars. I think he tried to go on Tiny and the Craggy just stunned him up.
that skill is overpowered, honestly. Like, I'm not even kidding. 25% chance to stun. But, like, the big issue is that, you know, when you, like, try and blink initiate on a Tiny, and you go for, like, a blink stun, your hero automatically goes to, like, attack the Tiny, and you get craggied. That's the worst. You just want to blink stun, you want to get in there and actually kill them. Maybe a blink pounce, but you just get craggied straight away. Now Kefka, One Punch Man, he's just chasing the Nature's Prophet, maybe waiting for the TP. He's definitely waiting for the rest of his team to come back in. Can he toss back onto Jalopy? He's going to get the Avalanche now, toss back. Silence is there, and Kefka get diffuseled up, cancels out the TP, and in comes the rest of the team. They do have buyback on this Nature's Prophet. They should be using it if London Conspiracy pushes in.
Guess what? It was Craggy again. Orchid into a right click, he got stunned up. This is insane. So. Now there's a Void Stone for Kefka, and he has enough money to actually finish off that Cypher fight. So this is actually a game changer if they manage to use it right. I mean, they were able to bring this slug down by some RNG, I guess, and a little bit of a right click from him. But now they have a reliable way to actually initiate on him in the first place, bring him down with the extra burst from the Templar Assassin, and well, then you're golden, right? If you manage to bring down a slug, if he doesn't have buyback, then you can pretty much just win the game.
How are we looking for buybacks anyway? So TA and Shadow Shaman, as well as the Tiny, all used theirs recently. You do have one for the Slark and the Juggernaut though. Nature's Prophet Tide both have theirs available. I've got to say, I think Hellraisers are in a better spot, sort of buyback-wise. They've just got to make sure Slark doesn't die twice. He is the hero. He is the one hero that matters on Hellraisers is the Slark. As long as they can have a good start to a team fight on him, which maybe is going to kick off now as Kefka is waiting in the pit. Sensibility. Oh, they walk into each other. There's a gem on Tiny. So gets the pounce onto that Visage though. Oh, he's stunned up. He's going to get chased down with a Ravage catching two. Tiny just walks out of that one though. And now in comes the Chain Frost, bouncing back and forth. Solon, he's going to try and heal up his ultimate, but Baby Knight blinks away with the BKB. He's wasted that, and Jalopy over on the side to the west. Serpent Wards will be dropped, but there's nothing stopping him from running away until the Blink Shackle comes in. On the shot, cancelled out, but Sensibility's there. He's got buyback on the Juggernaut, but man oh man. HR. They've got so much teamfight sustained. Look at, they're all full health. Every single one of them is on full health.
Well, Slark definitely being the one hero to rule them all. But they just can't stop him. Of course, it didn't help if you get caught in a situation like that, right? I mean, Tiny's there, everyone's kind of scrambling to maybe try and make a teamfight out of it, but then ultimately reconsidering. Juggernaut still gets picked off despite the missed ward block. Don't have the ward, they don't have the Ravage,
That damage is good though, and in comes the Omnislash. Sensibility's going to drop here slowly but surely until he pounces away with the Greaves from Alpha Ninja. They'll keep him healed up, and now maybe they'll look to turn and fight this. Slark is half health. Waiting up on the high ground, yeah, Craggy, okay, there's the first one, toss away as he pops his BKB, but Kefka, he's getting shredded here. The bash comes through, the mini one from the MKB, and Sensibility gets his ulti down. He's now invis and healing himself up again as Baby Knight and Jalopy trying desperately to kill the slot, but he just won't die. He pounces, he Shadow Blades, and he will eventually fall. It's the mobility from London Conspiracy, but he has buyback available. But once again, another fight where nothing is gained for London Conspiracy. While you look up at top lane, these Nature's Prophets Treants, the tier 4 here is down to 348 health. So LC, they've got to go and make something happen. Shadow Shaman dead for a minute. This may be their opening, this may be their window just to try and go and end the game with tier 4s.
That's a lot of gold for Jalopy as well, I think. Does he? Where did it actually go into? Did it go into the Diffusal Blade level 2 Brutal Travel? So not opting to finish up that Abyssal Blade.
Dyer's bottom
Yeah.
tower
But
is under
hey, look.
Trees!
But hey, look. You want to push our tier 4s, do you, huh? Well, there's Treants in your base. There's Treants top.
has fallen.
They've killed off a tier 4. There's Treants bottom lane looking to kill off a tier 3. There are just bloody Treants everywhere. And that's an Aghanim Scepter on Lich.
Shall be the land of the Zerg, says Chargelo. He just spawns these trees everywhere. And he's going for an Octarine now. Can pick it up in a moment's time if he wants to. And this is where it becomes even worse, right? It is pretty bad already. I mean, it's not just him having the axe and soon the Octarine core. They also racks up. Well, at least they have it racks down, right? Technically the equal, with the mid lane being played by LC beforehand, but doesn't change the fact that this lane is always pushing in.
Yeah,
Gives you the chance to just get even more pressure on than you normally would be able to on a Nature's Prophet now.
This is where it sort of goes from being back and forth a little bit. Like, you look at the XP graph, you can see very clearly where the fights have been going. London Conspiracy over time have been winning team fights. It's been a little bit back and forth. But gold-wise, Hellraisers have been taking towers and objectives and pushing lanes and farming more efficiently. So they've actually dragged this back and given themselves a decent lead here. By decent, I mean there's almost nothing in it. There's not a deficit, is what I really meant to say there. They've pushed themselves back into the black, no longer in the red. But London Conspiracy, I feel, are now in a quandary where defending base against Treants is not going to win you the game. Going to rush into a team fight and end the game is going to win you the game.
Yeah. The one chance for LC is that most of the network on Hellraisers is still concentrated on Unslug. So if they do manage to bring him down, then they have a really good chance actually taking the rest of the fight, because if you look at every other hero, well, they're not really scaling all that well in just terms of team fighting and scaling in that regard, and right clicks, all that kind of jazz. Because, well, you have a Tidehunter who has pretty much just Ravage, a lot of sustain achievers to go with it. Then there's a Shadow Shaman who has a lot of lockdown and the wards for damage, and the Lich also for the ultimate for damage. And Nature's Prophet is going for the split pushing build. So it's, if you bring down the Slaughter, if you bring down the Slug, you're golden. But if you don't, he's just gonna wreck you. It's that black and white kind of thing.
Does Hellraisers ever have to commit?
No.
In the next 10, 15, 20, 30, an hour, do they ever have to commit? I do not think they do. I don't think they should be in this position at all. Alpha Ninja, okay, he's hexed up, but he's still got the Ravage come through, and as he's tossed and killed off, there's the Ghost Scepter in the heal, and he'll drop the gem, but he will not get the Ravage down. So that's him dead, with a buyback available. The rest of Hellraisers will actually try and escape from this. As Baby Knight, he does have the gem. He gets the splash damage back onto Godham, and Sensibility. He's got Pounce, he's got BKB, he's got his ultimate as well, and Godham just throws the ulti for good measure. The bounce infinitely between these Visage Familiars and back onto Jalopy until the lane finally ends. My goodness,
Sensibility now gets
hacks.
hexed up.
Oh, he's got the Death Pact down, and the Dark Pact saves him with that Shadow Dance, walking himself back. Let's see where he is. He's got the spell once again up. He's got Shadow Blade, he's got Pounces. Looks like they will finally kill him though.
Dyer's middle
And guess what? Roshan's up. Meanwhile, in their base, they're dealing with double catapult stuff. But this is the thing. I am 100% certain that Hellraisers do not have to be in that position. They will split. One hero here, two heroes here, a hero here. If you're going to go and semi-commit into a team fight scenario, you have to be grouped up as 5. You have to be together. If you just leave London Conspiracy to commit into you can get the counter initiation with Blink Ravage, you can get the Serpent Wards in a good spot, you've got Chain Frost. You don't have to force yourself into this. You've got all the lanes pushing in. You've got these Treants just battering away at tier 3s and racks, tier 4s even. That now London Conspiracy actually have a good chance to force buyback from Slark, which is massive, honestly.
Yeah, same time though, looking
Dyer's bottom tower.
Undershock also joining in, so the pushback. He does get hacks.
middle
Kefka
tower
coming back.
has fallen.
That'll be death for tier 3, but yeah, that at least secures that Slark does not have to use that buyback. But at the same time, London Conspiracy, with these last couple of fights, they've gotten even more tools to deal with him. They finished up another Cypherwise on Visage, and JLP finished off his Abyssal Blade.
So they've got disables. It's just a matter of executing and using them correctly here. Now Visage is pushing mid as much as he possibly can with the Familiars. But it's the war of attrition, just split push against split push, try and to hold this horde of creeps out of your base. With the Slark alive now, like you said, buyback was secured, they didn't need to use it. It's getting closer and closer to that all-in moment though.
Yep. This is late game Dota. Once you get past 50, 60 minutes, this is the time where one single mistake on either team really can just decide the entire game. If you lose Slaughter, I keep saying Slaughter when I mean Slark. But if you lose him twice or without buyback, then it's pretty much game over for HR. Then again, if you lose a couple of heroes on the side of LC without buyback, then it is as well, because you're always gonna have that open avenue into the base for the most part. Refresh on Slark?
Yeah, this is something we saw a hell of a lot.
Okay.
I believe Illidan did it a fair amount. There was another player that did it as well, but I think it was mainly Illidan. Where refreshing your ultimate is massive, because it's what, like a 5-second duration? 4-second duration on a a hefty cooldown, 60 seconds. If you can get double ulti, you are untouchable in teamfights. Getting double BKB is good as well, obviously. But there's the Blink Ravage up and into the catch Loki. They're going to try and shred him, and they do with the shackles, but he spins. He's going to be able to get himself a little bit further away until this Slark is hunting him down. And the Blink Dagger will get him just far enough away as the Visage clears up one on the back end. The Shadow Shaman drops, but the Monkey King Bar proc does come in. TA in the meantime kills one off down on the bottom lane. Aegis has popped back up towards top as we see the Visage die a second time. That Juggernaut escaping though. He's got to count his lucky stars, because there's no way you get away from that.
Yeah. Well, they did. And they did get away, but once again, Slark. I don't know what else to say about him. He just keeps at least making trades in teamfights. Nature's Prophet actually died in the bottom lane.
Yeah, TA just jumped onto him and made sure that he wasn't split pushing anymore, but he's got his refresher, dude. He's got his refresher up for his next fight, but he is dead for 40 seconds. So this is a good period of time now for London Conspiracy to go and make something happen and ensure that they can actually try and get maybe another tier 3, maybe another set of racks. Now, Visage had buyback a second ago, and the gold outline just disappeared, so he's bought himself up something. Oh, that's why. He must have bought something and sold it, and then bought it and sold it again.
Also Shadow Amulet. Maybe going into Glimmer Cape now? A little bit later?
I guess.
Oh, the yellow P!
Oh, they've caught the Jugger again. He spins though, and he's healed up by Sol and Kefka. Oh man, the toss onto the Tidehunter is not going to do enough. He's still going to drop, and now with the Omni Slash back onto Sensibility, pops his ulti, turns back to fight, and the Juggernaut right-click down. He's got no buyback ready. The Tiny does come back into this, but how does he actually enter the fight? He's going to TP somewhere else, and here we go with a Sprout onto Baby Knight. She's dead as well. 120 seconds on the sidelines with a buyback. This might just be it. Kefka, return to the land of the living. But Templar Assassin has to spend her money to do so.
Alright, just want to dot Dota. Slark has built a refresher 3 times in 6.85 and has a... yeah, 60 minutes is the average time. What's the win rate? So, 50% win rate? If I'm reading that Dota right, but yes, it does make a lot of sense in this game if you farm like this, and if you rely on being able to stay alive. Just having double BKB, double ultimate.
For sure.
Yeah, with the Juggernaut down, you're lacking a lot of damage, you're lacking a lot of control.
Get some damage back onto these racks, but look at the Treants at bottom lane and top lane. They're racking up, and honestly, London Conspiracy without your Juggernaut. And Tidehunter has his Ravage up again. Maybe to get in here with a good counter initiation. There's the Blink Hex onto Kefka. Shadow Shaman doesn't make anything of that now. Shadowblade forward again. They know he's here. The Slark is running around in vision. Put the gem over on that Visage, but again, he's got Dark Bats. These hexes are just not going to be enough if he's quick on that finger.
This is the point where HR also... Well, they also recognize that even though the Juggernaut is down, there's still potential of being bursted down, but potentially Baby Knight not loses text up though. Now the Ravage comes out.
Tidehunter catches Baby Knight's TA, but she gets her BKB down. Meanwhile on the side though, Sensibility is forced down onto this Visage. The shield does nothing. He just shreds through it, honestly. Baby Knight's just trying to clear through whoever he can, but melding onto your tier 4s is not a way to win the game. And now it looks like Kefka, even with this bouncing on the slash back onto the charge slow, they'll take a chunk of damage, but it's not enough to kill anybody. Shadow Shaman finally does die, but the heal, the sustain, Baby Knight, he's in the middle of everybody. These Visage Familiars are stunning people up pretty nicely. Sensibility, he is stunned by that Abyssal Blade, but he's got the HP. He's bashed up again. He gets pushed back out of that fight, and he's got himself a death to his name as Baby Knight does clear it up. He's got buyback though. This slot can return, but the Lich can't.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And the Hellraisers come out of that without anything. They get a rat.
Dire's middle tower
Get
has
the range
fallen.
racks, they probably won't get the range racks and not quite enough trees. Just not after the familiars cleared them up, but they use so many buybacks making that happen. And yeah, they're still in a rough spot. The Ancient is taking damage. Right?
Oh, you're right.
Just some breathing space.
Dire's ancient
Okay.
But
is
they
under attack.
still have to. I think they have one more fight left in them. If they get jumped on like that again, then it's all over. But they need to find the initiation. They need to bring down a Slark. They need to find a good team fight without losing anymore.
Yeah, I was looking at that thinking, they got the ranged racks and that's it. From that long drawn out fight, they, you know, LC had already used their buybacks, they allowed Jugger to respawn. But looking at it, yeah, you're right. The tier 3 bot died, they've got a chunk of damage onto the racks down the bottom lane. That tier 4, which was like the last bastion of hope, did fall as well in front of that Ancient. So it's not bad for Hellraisers, but I don't think that's really what they were looking for. You know, forcing buybacks, winning and ending the game is obviously ideal situation you want to be in. Undershock, just going around zapping people with the Ether Shock, and he's now 600 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter. He's been closing in on that slowly but surely. Now, Shotchlow, this is very rude.
What? Oh no.
That's
This
naughty.
is just sending
Dire's
theories.
ancient is under attack.
Not quite sure how effective that is going to be, but hey,
That's very naughty.
to each its own. This is like next level of Nature's Prophets, even with this kind of build.
Arms for the dead.
Tiny, without his Aghanim Scepter, it's going to be difficult to clear out these waves. You know, again, I go back to what I said 30 minutes ago. No Battle Fury Jug, no no Ags on Tiny, and I guess the fact that Baby Knight is 6-slotted buys a ton of Observer Wards and Sentries. Oh, they've jumped
turn around
onto
here.
Slark. Turn around and fight this. BKB is forced though. On the back end, Baby Knight, he jumps straight over the TA. Slark wants to fight this. He's got his ulti, he's got Refresher Orb as well, so he's going to try and get in onto this Vicious with a big Ravage, though catching 4. The Chain Frost does nothing, bounces to nobody, but Baby Knight, shackled up, turns to one-hit crit down onto that little Rasta, but Slark is still alive. Looking for the picks, looking for the hits, looking for Baby Knight, but they can't see him just yet. He's invis and they've got no reveal. The Omnis Slash turns things back around, and it looks like they've got Sensibility on lockdown. They just need a stun. They need reveal. They've got a bash. They've got a hit. They've taken down the Slark. He's dead. Has buyback. And where is the push? This is Hellraisers definitely throwing away a massive advantage that they had. Okay, the Avalanche missed. Okay. There's a spot in the middle of Avalanche that doesn't land until after the sort of surrounding part of the circle hits, if that makes sense. Like there's an Eye of the Storm, basically.
Dire's ancient
Oh, there's the
is
Battle
under
Fury,
attack.
the casual 60-minute Battle Fury juggernaut. Fair enough.
Well, you kind of need it, and yeah, this is still LC just hanging at the cliff edge, right? Just at the precipice. Then trying to claw their way back in, and they're slowly but surely doing it. They're gaining centimeters right now. And if they keep gaining centimeters, obviously they still come up. And they will still be able to take this game. All they really need is to maybe try and force out the Slark buyback.
There's
Maybe
no
just go
Ravage,
for
right?
it.
Oh no, Ravage just came up again. Slark has bought Refresher 3 previous times in this patch. He won all 3. Is this going to be the outlier? Because here comes the Ravage onto 2. They've caught Baby Knight. He's dead. He's just demolished and he has no buyback. This was the Hail Mary play. If they can kill the Slark, then maybe they have a chance, but he's BKB'd on full health. And Jalopy, the Serpent Wards the damage. Sensibility Slark just runs over everybody as Kefka, I think he knows. I think he knows it's over. Cancels his TP to get the toss back on Tide. And this might just be game as Kefka drops 3 heroes for that buyback for London Conspiracy, and now it's just the right guys. Let's
Dire's ancient
let's
is
wander
under
down mid,
attack.
shall we? Because there's Treant's already on this on this throne. There's the
Oh, yeah.
Visage and
So-
the Baden, not much to do to clear through them.
Dire's ancient is under
Well,
attack.
to stay with the metaphor, This is Hellraiser's just finally just like stomp on their hands and just toss them off the cliff edge entirely.
Well,
No more cliffhanging, GG is called, and Hellraisers. What a game, man. That was down to the nice edge.
Captain's draft, 61 minutes, 33 to 40. That one, very back and forth. London Conspiracy, good early laning stage. Looked like they had the game in the bag, honestly, the way they were pressuring in. But that Slark, honestly, lack of lockdown, lack of disables for London Conspiracy means that, what's his end score? 26 and 7. Yeah, it's not too shabby, pretty damn good. As that Slark really clears up this game. But that's it for tonight. And that's our best of 3 done. Hellraisers will take it 2-1 here in the D2CL Season 7 Christmas Charity Magic. You can head over to d2cl.gg, give some money, help out some charities, give some food to some people who are maybe a little worse off than yourselves. It is Christmas after all, the season of giving. My co-caster, I'll give you a shout out. Drag and drop. Do you want to give any shout outs to anyone?
Shout out to John Dota. Shout out to you guys letting me cast, and yeah, thanks for having me. Shout out to D2CL for this funny tournament. I mean, we had Captain's Mode, but that was the first time I actually had it, so
It had to be me as well,
funky.
you know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, no ARDM for you.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. There's Dota Pit at 1 PM CET tomorrow with Toby, and there's also more D2CL action at 5 PM, which will be Empire against CIS Rejects. And that's going to be the schedule for tomorrow. We will be continuing throughout the week with myself, Cap, Toby, and Blitz with the casting here from the JD Studios. But for now, good night. See you guys in a couple of days when we'll be doing a little more Dota action and getting ourselves prepped for 2016. But thanks for watching. See you next time.